Let me answer this. You're on the Andrew Zarian show.
Hello?
Is this Jake?
No, this is another dude entirely. What's going on?
Who is
No,
it?
it's Jake. What's up?
Oh my God.
How are you, Jake?
I'm just some random dude.
Random
I'm just calling. I want to call a bunch of dudes in their house right now.
I was like, who the hell got this number? Because this is only for the show, and I've never put it out.
You got the random dude on
I'm a strange homeless dude.
Yeah, you should have seen
Can I
his
take a
face
shower with
change.
So for everyone that's listening, we got Jake Fogelnest on the phone. You could see him you could actually hear him on Sirius U from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. Is that correct?
Yeah,
it's,
what is it? It's XM channel 43, Sirius channel 26.
And you could also see him on. You could also see him on the VH1's Best Week Ever and the I Love the series.
I love the individual decades, whichever one happens.
Mostly 1974. That's the one I love the most out of all of them if I had to choose. 1974 was pretty good. Not a fan of 87.
Did you do all of them?
That was a terrible year.
Did you do every one of them, or?
What's that?
You did all of them?
I did. They've done... Let's see, they've done 3 I Love the 80s, 2 I Love the 70s, and then they did I Love the New Millennium, which went from 2000 to 2007. They didn't want to wait until
no, I guess not
to do it because you could cram in the hilarious jokes about the Black Eyed Peas now. You should do them.
So, you have a really interesting, I guess, resume you would call it. You've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, I started doing a public access show when I was 15 years old, just in New York City, just out of my bedroom. I mean, now anybody can kind of do a show from their bedroom. It's really easy. You just turn on your webcam and the computer.
Yeah.
But back in the mid '90s, that was very difficult. You had to engage with your cable company and fill out paperwork.
How does that work?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean in the context of the time, that something like that was basically unheard of. I mean, no one was doing what you were doing.
It had actually existed, in New York City since like the '70s, but I don't know. I got very lucky. I was just doing this goofy show from my bedroom when I was like 15, and it sort of got popular in New York City, and then it got picked up by the MTV, and that's sort of how everything started.
And you were interviewing some really cool bands. I mean, you had actually you had the Beastie Boys in a few times, and you had I was looking at your Wikipedia page, and I was doing some catching up because I remember your MTV show, and it says serial killer Ted Bundy was a fan.
Serial killer Ted Bundy? He would have been in jail.
That's what it says. That's what it says under your Wikipedia.
You're fucking kidding me. That's hilarious. That's just that's the danger of Wikipedia. Is anybody can get in there.
Anyone can go on. I've went on Wikipedia and wrote stupid things on other people's pages.
That's a serial killer Ted Bundy. That's ridiculous.
I thought
he was in jail because didn't Ted Bundy go to jail in the 80s?
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, how old is he?
He has to be a fan of the show, though, that was a murderer, was Michael Alec.
No way.
The guy who had all those awful Disco 2000, the parties at the Limelight, and killed the drug dealer, and they made a movie about it. He used to watch it, but not Ted Bundy.
That's it was such a ridiculous thing, and it says it says like a bunch of celebrities, says the Beastie Boys, Janine Garofalo, and Ted Bundy. So I guess I
hope that nobody changes that. That should just stay there. That's
he likes it. Fans from all walks, literally, serial killers included.
No,
yes, Janine Garofalo and David Berkowitz, son of Sam.
David Berkowitz.
So throughout the show that you did, who was like the coolest interview that you did with? Because for people who don't know, you were young. You were 14, 15 years old doing these interviews with these great bands.
Yeah, well, that was how, what was really cool is that, I would mention a band, you're 15, you're 16, you mention a band that you love, and then all of a sudden they call you up and they're like, hey, we're watching your show at 12:30 at night. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah,
I was
amazing.
A huge, every underweight 15-year-old that was a nerd in high school, I was a big fan of They Might Be Giants. So, I'm playing like a They Might Be Giant song, and then they're calling up my voicemail, and it was like, my brain exploded.
Yeah,
and like a lot of like the Beastie Boys. I was a huge fan of the Beastie Boys, and then all of a sudden they're calling up, and then they're in my bedroom.
Did you hear about it, Adam? Did you hear about Adam Yauch?
It's the worst news ever. I mean, I know that it's a very treatable form of this lymph node cancer, and my thoughts and prayers are with him entirely. It's just it really was like a punch in the gut.
Yeah,
because,
it's just ridiculous, man.
When I was like 15, there's nobody cooler than the Beastie Boys. I think of them sort of as these like invincible, godlike creatures. But that's like it's just.
It's scary to see like these icons that you had when you were a teenager now getting older.
Yeah, and those dudes are old. Like, it used to be that they would push around shopping carts full of beer, and now, they do yoga.
Yeah, no, it's tough because, we're not that young anymore. We like to think of ourselves as...
You know what else it was really interesting? You've according to, I'm going based on some of your Wikipedia, so I may be wrong.
Which we've proven is entirely accurate.
Yeah, so far we know Ted Bundy was a fan. It says that you were on Conan OBrien.
Yeah, you know what I would do? I got involved with the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater when they opened up in like 1999.
99,
years ago. And they, how like Conan would have different people come out in like a bear suit and fight Abraham Lincoln.
And
all kinds of crazy stuff.
They used to cast all those out of the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater. So I was, there's a bunch of reruns of Conan where I come out and say something silly for a couple of lines and stuff, and just doing little bits on the Conan show. And like Amy Poehler used to be Andy Richter's sister. It was just how everybody sort of you'd be psyched. Maybe once or twice a month you would get a call to come and do a Conan bit, and you'd be like, yes, a couple $100, yay!
So you got into after your show on MTV, which you were still young. What did you get into right after that? Were you doing more writing?
Rehab. Right after that, I went into rehab.
Is that what you?
And then K-Rock. I started doing a radio show on K-Rock called the Buzz.
Okay.
It's just like a Sunday night new music show. And I did that for a couple years, from like 17 to like 19 or 20.
Oh wow!
And then I got really involved with doing stuff at UCB. Writing and directing shows.
Well, you've also written for SNL.
Yeah, when Jimmy Fallon was doing Weekend Update with Tina Fey, I became friendly with him just through the years. He's like an insanely good dude, and he was writing jokes. He was doing Update for a couple weeks, and he was like, if you got some jokes, or we could use the help. And I was like, what? Are you fucking kidding me? I would love to. So I would send in jokes to Jimmy and Tina, and then sometimes they would get on the air, and I can't think of anything. I don't know. To me as a little kid, I can't think of anything more exciting than like some joke that I thought of on a Tuesday being on Saturday Night Live Saturday night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it was the fucking coolest thing, that ever happened. So I did that pretty much for all of the time that Jimmy did Weekend Update, and then I think the first year that Amy did it, and then I got involved with just other stuff. It was a lot of fun.
Now, Jake, let me ask you. Now, when you were working with Jimmy Fallon, he took over for Norm Macdonald, if I'm correct, right?
No, Colin Quinn took over for Norm, and
so
then,
he was before.
Colin left, and they had Jimmy and Tina take over for Colin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Colin took over because Norm got fired.
Yeah,
Norm did get fired. I remember that story,
which was ridiculous because I don't know. I was of the opinion that Norm is one of the funniest people to ever do.
I'm a huge.
I thought he was great too.
Yeah,
Colin was good, and
he was so deadpan.
But that's his brilliance.
Yeah.